oops, caught dancing. Well, good evening, divinely created, divine you are. Welcome to Soul and Beyond. My name is Gwenda, and for over 40 years I have been a natural conduit between your mind, the guides, angels, heaven and earth. Thank you for joining me this evening on Soul and Beyond, our first one for 2024. Well, that's what they tell us it is. So, okay, we'll go with that. For the moment, who knows? It could be, 318 AD for all we know. But hey, look, 2024 sounds good, doesn't it, when you say it like that? Let's see. Good evening, Liana. Yes, I'm ready, honey, I'm ready. Great to see you join us this evening. Liana's love and care immediately after she knew that I had had that little incident helped me get through every day. And I can't thank her enough, along with a couple of other beautiful people that contacted me every day to see how I was going and if I was okay. And I really appreciate it. Jean Hartman, hello, and Happy New Year to you. Joe F. Hello, Joe F. Happy New Year to you. Good evening, Karen McAllister. Kelly, Ash, not with us tonight. Okay, well, hopefully he'll enjoy the replay and hope he's going on really well too. Jackie, good evening to you. Lisa, yes. Lisa along with Liana. They're two beautiful, beautiful ladies. Magical friends, really. Can't thank them enough. Michelle, so good to see you join us live tonight. And Kim Jane, good to see you too. And I know there's a few other people watching as well. So hello to you, and know that you can join in with comments anytime. We like that on Soul and Beyond, to be able to chat with you. So thanks, Lisa. You know, I started with divinely created and divine you are. Over 40 years, I have dedicated my life, I've lived this life, we'll just talk about this life for the moment, with healing hearts and opening minds, getting people to be aware of their divine self, also known as higher self, also known as authentic self. Not everyone's willing to go there. Not everyone is willing to let go of everything that they are so finely attached to in this world. And for what? For what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And for everyone who has farewelled a loved one in recent times, God bless and hold you in his grace, because your loved ones are now able to see like, I don't know why I got so wound up about that. It really didn't matter. I don't know why I wanted to hold on to that. It really doesn't matter. Wanting to be able to know how to connect, how to live through the incredible power of who you truly are is something that you would make a mission of for this lifetime. Now, which is better, to be in fear, overwhelm, fright, pain, discomfort, or to be powerfully secure, content, satisfied, deeply in love with life? Which is better? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't take a lot for me to weigh that one up. And after this belt on the head of recent, it's thank goodness, Michelle. It's even more empowering to be able to utilize the ability to be aligned with the greater self. So when I was nursing and I saw 4 people in a ward, all with the same diagnosis, all on the same treatment, and yet all recovering differently, I was only a young nurse, so I was like, wow, what is this about? Why is this person's fractured leg not healing like that guy's fractured leg? Why is this person not recovering from their shingles, whereas the person in the next ward is recovering from their shingles? Why is this man that's had a heart attack still so miserable, whereas the lady in the other ward, because back then we didn't mix them up, the lady in the other ward who had had a heart attack, she was bouncing to get back to life, back to her life as she knew it. And I used to ponder that. But as I've gone along my path of being this powerful conduit between heaven and earth, with your soul, your guides, your angels, and the divine, it all kind of makes more sense. You know, I've worked throughout those 40 odd years with people who are insistent that life does this to me. And of course, then there's that beauty. The universe does this to me. The universe is giving me a hard time. Well, bah humbug to that. When one takes responsibility for one's own life and starts to understand the power of themselves, then, it's a little bit hard looking in the mirror to go, well, maybe it wasn't the universe. Maybe it wasn't my ex-husband. Maybe I had something to do with it. How do you start your day? Do you welcome your spirit into your physical body? Because, you know, when you sleep, your soul goes, thank goodness for that, and it gets out. The same as when somebody is in a coma, same as when somebody is in under anesthetic, general anesthetic, same as when someone is going through open heart surgery, when somebody has experienced a tremendous trauma, and the same as when we are preparing to exit this world. The soul gets out. So think about that. When you're sleeping and then that awful sound, known as an alarm, breaks you out of that sleep and you're kind of dumped unceremoniously into the day, what's your first response? Could be to get a hammer and hit the alarm. Could be to throw it. Could be to say a few choice words. Could be to grumble, well, here we go again. What is it for you? Because if it's any of those things, then your soul is waiting for you to align with it and live through it. Live with it as your guide for the day. No. When we want to go down that bar humbug route and really be unaligned, now that even isn't even a word. How many of you went, what'd you say? How can you be aligned to your greater self if you are starting the day that way? Now, I mentioned what I observed as a nurse. Well, here we are in recent 2 decades, because the information has grown and grown. The studies have grown and grown, and there are wonderful, dedicated people like Dr. Joe Dispenza who spend their time researching the way the human brain works. And I can tell you, after this recent experience, I have some rather amazing insights into the workings of the brain. So with wonderful people like him doing the science research, and being able to establish what happens when you think and when you speak, what happens in your body, is no surprise to me. And given what I have worked with for a lot of years, all it does is cement, really bring home the things that I say to people over and over. Your words, your thoughts create your reality. And that is it, end of story. So if you're still talking about what took place, what your mother didn't do, your father didn't do, your brother didn't do, your sister, whatever, what your husband didn't do, if you're still talking about that, then you're holding all of that in your cells of the body. And all of that creates constriction, which goes on to create inflammation, which then goes on to create what is called dis-ease in the body. So what has been found is that if you were to spend 2 to 3 times a day for 15 minutes, people go, oh my God, I haven't got time for this. Oh, well, you're not willing. You're not willing to be led by your soul, by your guides, your angels, or even your loved ones who are in heaven, if they're lucky. They could be on the limbo bus. In any case, if that is your way of thinking and living, then you're not even willing to let them in. So pain, distortion, lack, not enough money, not enough work, not enough this, not enough that, not well enough, will be consistent. What these wonderful researchers of the best kind have found is that by practicing gratitude 2 to 3 times a day for 15 minutes actually boosts your immune system. And why does it do that? Because it changes the behavior of your cells. You release more immunoglobulin, vitamin A, into your immune system, and it immediately fights inflammation, cancer, anything that is not a balance in the body. I haven't got time for that. Come on, Gwenda, I haven't got time to be saying, I'm grateful for. Well, then you haven't got time to really honour, respect, or live through your heart and your soul. Why would you want to live through this imposter, this impersonator? Because that's what you get from your head. That's what you get from the overthinking, the overwhelm, the fear, the holding on to the past that isn't even current. Can't be current if it's the past, can it? So not having time, saying you don't have time, is really making it very clear to your guides, your ancestors, your angels, your soul, and the divine creator that doesn't matter to you. The garbage here matters to you more than that. Ouch. How does that feel? That's a bit in your face, isn't it? What could you be grateful for? Well, I myself give gratitude, give a prayer of thanks at the end of every day. I give thanks for everything that has been in that day. Everything that's been. I don't filter through it and go, well, I'm really not grateful about that. And I don't know why I had that happen. And I don't know why that person did. Mind you, I don't get that stuff. But I don't filter. I simply give thanks for all that has been in this day. And then I empty out what is not of my highest good or is not going to allow me to have an open heart. And I bin it. And then I go to sleep. When I wake in the morning, I asked you, do you welcome in your spirit, your soul? The first thing I do is give thanks. I have a big stretch. I get everything moving. I get the blood flowing. I take deep breaths. And as I'm doing all of that, I give thanks for another day here in this world, in the world that I choose to create, choice, and choose two very powerful words, and two words that you would do well to really think about, and think about what your choices are. What are your choices about how you respond, how you speak, how you react? And I've said before, I'm a very different person to what I was many years ago, even to what I was 10, 15 years ago. I was a very fiery piece of goods then. And anyone that stepped on my toes back then, look out. But having done so much of this inner introspection, delving deep and really taking up the alignment, not only with my higher self, but wanting to know who my real self is and what is she like? Who is she? And really being aligned on a greater level with the messengers of the divine. Now, having been a lifetime messenger, a conduit of those messengers, so I'm their messenger, it has always been humbling. It has always been something I've had tremendous respect for. In fact, I stopped reading for people because many that started to come were of this new age, new attitude that was very selfish, very low, almost zero respect for what they couldn't see, and yet they wanted the guidance. So I said no more, because if you're not going to respect the divine, the messengers of the divine, and myself as a messenger for the messengers, then I'm not going to do this anymore. But apparently I'm not the final decision maker in that, so I'm back doing that again. It is my life's work, so it seems. But what amazed me was people's attitude and their choices. Their choice to live a habitual, unconscious life. Their choice to determine their life by everything that they could see, which keeps them in a place of mud, keeps them in a place of never-ending struggle, trying to survive. And all of that, those wordings are not helpful in the least. Not in the least. If you talk about it's a never-ending struggle, I'm striving, I'm surviving, they are not words that are of soul alignment. They are not words that are empowering. You've been led to believe that to say that I'm striving is empowering. It's not. It's far from it. Being aligned, claiming your divinity, doing the introspection, releasing those immunoglobulins into your bloodstream. That is being the powerful you, the powerful being that you are. Watching your words, your thoughts, what you will tolerate, what boundaries you have, what boundaries you don't have with yourself and with others. Yes, you do need boundaries with yourself, most definitely. not boundaries that cage you in, because the soul cannot deal with being caged in. Being in this physical body is difficult enough for it without caging it in through rigid thoughts and heaviness. When I said you welcome your soul into your body, how many of you do that? Good evening, Linda Gold. Welcome. How many of you welcome your soul into your physical self? Now, I know through dying on the operating table, having a T-bone car collision, having a near-death experience when I was 35, somewhere around there, and then the recent experience, I know what it feels like for the soul to be catapulted out of the body or to be extrapolated out, to have an emergency evacuation of the soul from the physical. And I know what it feels like for it to come back in. But have you ever thought, thank you, Jackie, thank you, Lisa, ever thought about welcoming your soul in? Because it does get out. It likes to be free of the physical self while you're sleeping. So it could be out in the astral realm. Oh, I hope it's not, but that's most often where it gets trapped. It could be just hovering above you, or it could be sitting out with your angels. It could be meeting with your loved ones on the dream plane. That's a beautiful place to go. It's even more beautiful when you go there to meet with your loved ones. But you get the message, it's not in-house. It's out. It's gone visiting. So you wake up, and where are you when you wake up? Do you wake with an alarm? Good on you, Karen. Do you wake with an alarm? So what is your response when you wake with an alarm? Or do you wake naturally and you still have that grumble? Oh, here we go again. Oh, I've got so much on today. Oh, I'm so busy today. Where are you when you wake up? You're straight here in your head. And that's where the ego resides. So the ego will nudge out the soul all the time, especially when you live in your head. The soul is, and spirit is incredibly quiet, very serene, very peaceful, but not the ego, not the noise factory in the mind. So if you wake and you're straight into your head, how's your day going to roll out for you? How's your body going to feel? How much of your immune system can be working at optimal level when you are already started behind the 8 ball with your thoughts, your tension in your body? Maybe that's something you would like to consider trying. Maybe it's something you'd like to introduce now into how you begin your day. One of the masterclasses I thoroughly enjoy doing is setting intentions, and it's something I like to work with private clients. Setting intentions is extremely powerful, but it's not just something you say, just like a prayer. A lot of people just say prayers. Good on you, Liana. A lot of people just say prayers. It doesn't work. A lot of people will say a mantra or even make a statement which they'll claim to be their intention, but it's really like saying the cat sat on the mat. They're not engaging with their soul. They're engaging from a place of the intellect, which is the mind. So that gratitude practice, twice or 3 times a day, obviously 3 times would be better, of 15 minutes of saying things you are grateful for. Now, my day, my prayer begins with being grateful for having a body, mind, and soul that is powerful, strong, and healthy. And I give thanks for the gift of sight. And I look around my room, I look out the window, and I give a few minutes to embrace everything I can see with my physical eyes. I give thanks for the sense of smell. And I'll draw in a breath. And if I've been burning the incense in the house the day before, the night before, then I can still smell it on the air. I may be able to, it's really funny, I can smell people's perfumes and aftershaves as they go by in their cars with their windows down in the morning. It permeates through because I like my windows open. So I will make a point of seeing what it is I can smell. I give thanks for the gift of hearing. I grew up with an auntie that neither spoke or could hear. And in her day, and when I was a child, they were called deaf and dumb. There was nothing dumb about my Auntie Sylvia. So I often think of her when I give thanks for the precious gift of hearing. So there's so much you can give thanks for, but not run it off like you're reading a shopping list. You say it from the heart and with deep gratitude. I also give thanks for my loved ones who are in spirit, for everything that they brought into my life. And again, I don't sift that. I acknowledge them and for everything they brought into my life, and I give thanks wholeheartedly. Do you do that? Do you ever begin your day with a prayer of thanks? A real prayer of thanks? It changes everything. It really does. And then I go on to make my request. And I request that the divinity within me, the divine spirit within me, lead me and guide me to all that is of my highest good throughout this day. Do you do that? And I call in everything that is of my highest good in this day. I also ask to be guided and led, maybe same, with my words, my thoughts, and my responses. There's a word, surrender, that a lot of people struggle with. But I like to surrender this imposter. What's the imposter? It's the non-aligned part of me. And I ask that my greater self, my real self, walk beside the divine in all that I do in this day. And this has been a practice that I have worked with and on for a lot of years. And I can tell you, when you begin, it's not an easy thing to do. Old habits die hard. And when you believe yourself to be a certain way, those habits become entrenched. So that means how you are used to speaking, how you are used to having a conversation, reacting in conversations, become an entrenched part of you that are so far removed from your true self that you would be amazed. Absolutely amazed. We all know that this world is not about perfection. If it was, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't put our hands up to come here and incarnate for this experience. There's another phrase that people use a lot. The world has gone to you can finish that. The world is no good. The world's full of anger and hate. These statements are so far from the truth, it's not funny. The world is not doing anything other than being destroyed by humanity and other things that are here. Why is it that people say the world? Why don't they say people or humans or other living things? Why do they refer to it as the world? For example, I saw a very old image. That's right, Liana. It's blind, rigid habit. And it is of the unconscious. It's of the sleepwalkers. I saw a newspaper cover that was from the 60s or somewhere, and it stated there is a call for world peace. How about there's a call for humans to be peaceful with each other? Peace in the world would be a better and more powerful way of sending out those vibrations. Because world peace is incorrect. That implies that there is nowhere on the world, on the earth, that there is peace, and that is simply not true. How could we know, sitting in our little homes, wherever we are, that there isn't peace somewhere on the earth? Why is it that we take in, why are we so gullible to take in these sweeping, powerful blanket statements? Why is it that we don't contribute to making that peace for all on the earth through our own actions, reactions, choices, words, and habits? Because we live a habitual life until you decide to be willing to change all of that. Now, I've got a question for you all that I'd like you to answer. Oh, well, there's a little bit more brainwashing, Jackie. I guess it's taken the place of good. Perfect instead of good. So the question for you is, as far as you know, we originated from a sperm meeting up with an egg. The sperm penetrates the egg, and the egg goes into little globules and more little globules and more, and build lots of cells that then begin to form a little fetus that looks like a lizard, and then begins to form a little fetus that's got little organs and little feet coming along. You with me so far? That's how you believe you came into being? Yes? Don't let me down now. That's how you came into being, a sperm and an egg. Yeah? And it all blasted up. Well, where did your life force come from? Where did your personality come from? Was that in the sperm? Was that hiding in the egg? Anybody? I want you to think about that. because I've used the word imposter tonight. Your personality is not your soul. Your personality is the spirit of you that lives this lifetime, only this lifetime. And yes, that can be proven because you can go back and have a look at your previous lifetimes and incarnates. So the question is, that little spermatozoa who impermeates an egg, where did your personality come from? How did it form? Did you arrive with it? Was it chipped into you? Pardon that little Freudian there. That's right, Liana. Personality is formed by your experiences. So, when you arrive, do you have a personality? Do you already have a spirit? If so, where did it come from? Anybody? I hope I've got some of you real mind thinkers thinking deeply now, not from your mind. You see, there's the trick. I've asked you a question, and so far, I think only Jackie and Liana have replied. But I've asked you a question, so have you immediately gone into what you've been taught? Have you immediately gone into your mind to go, now, what would the answer be for that? I don't remember learning that in biology or human biology or science. That's right, Michelle. Through our family and their beliefs. Do you see why I say your personality is an imposter? Your personality is only made up of everything that you've accumulated and come to believe of yourself because of lived experience, which brings me to my two favorite words, perception and perspective. And Michelle and Jackie, you were waiting for that, weren't you? So have a delve into your heart and into the very center of your being and find out, who are you really? Who are you beyond this personality? Well, it has to, Jackie. So you have, you are correct. Spirit, soul incarnates for each lifetime because the soul comes for a specific reason to have this lived experience. Your spirit has to accommodate you. Your spirit accommodates you through personality that suits what environment you have come into, that suits what experiences you're going to have and how you're going to deal with them. So now when we look at psychiatry and they talk about split personality disorder, schizophrenic multi-personality disorder, bipolar, what's going on there? Interesting stuff, isn't it? And it is well worth you investigating yourself. Having a look at your gratitude in the morning, your practices of gratitude, beginning a new practice of welcoming your spirit, your soul into your physical body when you wake. And keep a journal of the things you notice that are different. Notice your energy. Notice the difference in how your body feels in the morning when you get up. Now, if you hit your body up with a nice big cup of coffee or hot chocolate or even caffeinated tea before you've had anything else, You've already slipped in to the mental intellect. You've also slipped into the world of habit. None of these things align you with your soul. All of those things are, in fact, suffocating on the soul. So the question again, yes, Jackie, they are labels, but in alignment with what I was talking about, where are these multi-personalities coming from? Because you see, they are not the soul. They are imposters that have been created through choice, through experiences, through perceptions. When you want to have a deeper connection with who you really are, then the practices of gratitude, of welcoming your soul, your spirit into your body when you wake, of asking for it to sit with your guides or an angel who can offer you guidance as you sleep. These are the things that will change your world within the world. These are the things that will change your reality and everything that goes with that. Now, does it matter enough to you to do that? Are you willing? Oh, I'll try it. Oh, I don't know, I haven't really got time. All of that's an illusion. You've got all the time that you need when you make it, because you can drive time. You can actually make time work for you. It all begins again with your intent and how you are working your day or your night. Oh, beautiful, Michelle. Very glad to be of service, darling. When you're stuck in your head and in your thoughts, you have very, very deep attachments to this world. When you're stuck in your head, you have a habitual life. You live by the same beliefs, the same behaviors, the same reactions all the time. You eat the same things all the time. You do the same things from beginning to end of day. These are the things that the ego-driven person does. This is how they live their life. They live in a frequency of fear, overwhelm, fret, pain, struggle. When you want to shift your identity from your head to your heart, then you begin with these few things that I've been talking about. You also have a really good look at how willing you are to say yes, rather than, oh, I've tried this before. So many people will say, yes, I've read the books, I've done the courses, nothing works, I've tried this, I've tried that. No, you haven't. You've read the book, you've done the course, and that's it. You've tried something, you didn't become it. You didn't live it. You didn't live the practices, and that's the difference. People that like to say, my back is killing me, my psoriasis is playing up so bad again, oh, my migraines are killing me. They live in that space. It's all ego-driven. It's all attachment to this life, this world-driven. When I say this world, it's actually not correct either, because as was shown to me in divine vision one day and put to me, that everything you can imagine is here available to you. everything you can imagine. Get that? Everything. So that means everything that's great, everything's not so great, and everything that's lousy. It's all here. You bring it to yourself. And yes, there are some other factors involved in that, but you bring it to yourself through your choices, actions, reactions, behaviors, habits, and old attachments. So everyone lives within their own world within this world, which I'm going to call this realm. Everybody has their own little world within this realm. Within your world, what is it that you are bringing in? What is it that you hold in your world? And guess what? When you go, none of it's going with you. What is going to happen is you're going to have to sit in the library of life and watch a video. Watch your life play out in front of you, and oh my gosh, there's no chips, there's no popcorn, there's no Pop-Tart chocolate tops. No. Just you, an angel, and watching your life. Oops. So what's the point of being so entrenched in habits that do not serve, that do not bring you to your greater self? What's the point of that? Can't take any of it with you. Suffocate the soul while you're here. Be forever in a place of struggle and not be in harmony. And the soul's going, whoa, how did I get overrun? How did I get pushed to the side? For what exactly? How's that? Pretty amazing, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Kelly. Yes, hold you accountable, all right? You wait this year. I've got a bigger whip this year. Kelly's mentioned the society. For those of you that haven't joined us or are not aware, with Spirit Seekers Society, and our first masterclass tomorrow night actually is on abundance and the flow of abundance for 2024. And that's not just abundance of wealth. It's abundance of a soul, enriched, lived life, which brings wealth. So if you're ready and you're willing to step into a greater way of living your life and not pushing your soul out to live through this imposter personality. So we're going to do a really big delve into personality in the coming months as well, and really find out, because I've already got the first quarter of this year, the topics are already chosen. So we will be looking into the personality, and in the higher awareness section of the society, we'll be going very deep into these things. So hold on to your hats, ladies. I'll hold on to my broom, you hold on to your hats, and we'll go from there. So I hope that you will give these insights. These are what I wrote while I was sitting, waiting for guidance, preparing for you this evening. And these were the things that came through. And I must admit, I thoroughly enjoyed the one about the sperm and the egg. And then, so what? Where did you come into that picture? You as you believe yourself to be. You as the person you think you are. You know, does anyone else ever go through their wardrobe or their Tupperware cupboard, maybe even cutlery drawer, and have a big throw out? might have a throw up when you look at some things that have been there for 20 years in the wardrobe. Ugh, what was I thinking? Do you ever do that? Well, why not do that with your personality? Is there parts of your personality that could do with going in the bin? And I don't mean the recycle bin either. Is there parts of your personality that could do with some polishing or leaving altogether? Good on you. That's so good. All of this already. Oh, the wardrobe, the crockery, the cutlery. Liana, is that what you mean? Living my life, my living in the past. Girl. Yes, yeah, Lisa, I think you did some recently again, didn't you? It is very empowering to do those things. You've done, a lot of you have done the decluttering. So how about doing some decluttering of yourself? And what that means is habits. Having a look at your long-held habits. Kelly and I had a chat about this, and I gave her a little taste of what's going to come in regards to habits and living a habitual life rather than a life powered by the soul, bringing the soul forward, not edging the soul out or pushing the soul out, suffocating it, because that's who you really are. You know, all of these other parts of you, have they lived their lifespan? Is their use by date up? Like I said, and there's a couple of people here could certainly verify that some time back I was an extremely fiery and in your face person, especially if you did the wrong thing by me, or I had something that I was just beside myself, wanting to make it different because of injustice. Thanks, Liana. Yeah, I'm probably not painting the picture very fairly. Hey, Liana, I've always stood up for the underdog. I've always put my neck on the chopping block for those who could not stand up for themselves. And that is a very big integral part of who I am at a soul level. And I know why that is, because I know where I'm from. So those parts of me are integral, and I know that. But how I stand up now for the underdog is very different to how I used to do it then. Taking people on when they were mistreating others, I will still do that, but I do it differently. I do it in a different way. Yeah. Injustice is a big thing for me and always has been. What I did learn the hard way was, and I've learned this more as well in this role of being a soul mentor for others, when people are not willing and they just want to offer up excuses all the time and they want to live in the past, they actually like their dis-ease or their effort to say, oh, I'm struggling, I'm striving, then I back away. There was a time where I would be wanting so much for that person to know what it's like to live a heart and soul-led life that I would keep myself awake at night. But that part of my personality, it's gone. Well and truly gone. Because I come to understand that's not my life and it's not my right. What I want for that person, that's not my right. If they are not willing and they don't truly want to live a peaceful, harmonious, enlightened, and aligned with their soul life, so be it. It's not mine to make that choice. So forfeiting, letting go, surrendering that part of my personality has been liberating. Wanting to be right with how things are done, it's not as important to me anymore as it used to be, because I can't take it with me. Oh dear, Lisa's put me on the spot. Busted. So I hope there's been some really cool insights and some good stuff for you to think about tonight, and for you to be able to go away and delve into some new ways that you can change the incredible way that your life rolls out from tonight. You create miracles. You don't have to wait for God to create a miracle. You are a living miracle, and you create them every day. So I truly hope that there's been some terrific gems, some treasures for you tonight, and that you'll look at yourself as a living miracle and decide to make miracles every day, beginning with how you're going to start the day. Thanks so much for joining me. It's good on you, Leanne. I'm so pleased to see you join us tonight, love. It's wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. It's a pleasure, Jackie. I'll thank my team because, as I said, I prepare for you and ask for what it is that they want to share, channel that through. Oh, cool, Jean. Fabulous. Yeah, it is, Michelle. Powerful stuff. You're welcome, Kelly. I love your just, brief. That's it. And I'm delighted to have had so many of you join me this evening on our first Soul and Beyond for this year. You're very welcome, Kim Jane. It's lovely to have you here. And I'll look forward to being back with Soul and Beyond next Monday. And we will stay at this time until daylight slavings finishes on the East Coast. Although it's not fair to say really, because it gets so dark over there so early. It's no wonder they have it. And then, of course, we have the masterclasses in the Society beginning tomorrow night with abundance, and I can't wait. So everybody, you're welcome, Joe F. Have a fabulous evening and enjoy enriching your life.